We want to thank you for saving our life. God bless you, sir.
President Buhari receives released Dapchi girls, once again trivializing security issues for political gains.
I've seen my daughter. I am grateful to God and accept the condition I have seen her.
Correspondent relays atmosphere in Dapchi as parents bask in the euphoria of their children's return.
We invest in our children in this noble way. We are really investing in ourselves.
And experts explore ways of sustaining national homegrown school feeding program in Nigeria. Plus, Nigeria launches new tuberculosis drug for children as part of activities marking World TB Day. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Ronke Kolawole. Also reading with me tonight is Hingino John Adams from Lagos, and we have Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun joining us from Kaduna, while Ogechi Paul is standing by in Port Harcourt Network Center. Once again, you're welcome to the news. The federal government has warned that any attempt by persons or groups to either trivialize or politicize security issues for politically motivated ends will no longer be tolerated. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the warning while receiving the released Dapchi schoolgirls, emphasized that such unscrupulous characters who have chosen to make political gains out of the citizens' misfortune will be decisively dealt with. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
It was an emotional sight to behold as the Dapchi schoolgirls released unconditionally after a painstaking back-channel dialogue with their captors were formally presented to President Muhammadu Buhari.
We want to thank you for saving our life. God bless you, sir.
Full of high-spirited delight, the president assured the students that they will freely live and pursue their dreams in a peaceful and orderly Nigeria without fear of violence or molestation.
I have tasked all the security agencies to work to ensure that we do not witness any reoccurrence of these incidents. Security chiefs have been warned in clear terms that any lapse on their part will be viewed seriously. While parents of Dapchi girls rejoice because of the reunion with their children, I want to appeal to the Chibok community never to lose hope or to despair. We are determined, as never before, to bring back our remaining Chibok daughters, and this we must accomplish, and that will be soon by God's grace.
While efforts are being intensified to secure the release of every abducted citizen of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari said his administration is ever ready to accept, rehabilitate, and integrate any repentant member of the Boko Haram group that is prepared to unconditionally lay down his arms.
This country has suffered enough of hostility. Government is therefore appealing to all to embrace peace for the overall development of our people and the country. May I also warn against those elements who have chosen to make political fortune of our citizens' misfortune. Government will not tolerate any attempt by any person or group to trivialize or politicize security issues for politically motivated ends. Accordingly, security agencies will not hesitate to decisively deal with such unscrupulous characters.
While appreciating the security agencies for their loyal and tireless efforts at making this day a reality, President Buhari equally thanked Nigerians who demonstrated true Nigerian spirit by praying and empathizing with families of the abducted students during their trying moment.
We can and should sustain it beyond moments of sorrow.
The Director General, Department of State Services, Lawal Daura, who spearheaded the intense behind-the-scene dialogue that led to the release of the girls, explained that 6 of them are yet to be accounted for, but hope is not lost.
Going by the nation's experience through these years of insurgency, it is humbly suggested that efforts be sustained towards 1, ensuring the release of all abducted persons in the Northeast Theater of Operation. 2, improve the strategic plan for safety of schools in vulnerable locations using all available national assets. 3, improve on the coordination efforts among security agencies to avoid future incidents. And 4, expand the current dialogue towards complete mitigation and resolution with a view to getting an everlasting peace for the entire sub-region.
He said beyond the release of the abducted girls, the government's primary interest for engaging in the dialogue was to, among others, ensure permanent cessation of hostilities, as well as discussing the fate of the arrested insurgents and innocent Nigerians still in captivity.
When Chibok girls were taken away, the responsibility was not even taken by the government. Government was denied. But this time, it was taken seriously, and thank God they are back safely.
As these Dapchi girls depart from the State House after an interaction with the President, expectations are now high that all those in captivity will also regain freedom and are united with their families. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
While the schoolgirls were being received by the president in Abuja, our correspondent Hamisu Rogo was in Dapchi town, where he presented a picture of relief as parents continue to celebrate the release of their girls. The parents also gave insight on what their daughters told them about their 1 month in captivity.
People fancy that Dapchi should be having a straight party to celebrate the return of their abducted girls. They are happy, all right, but they are relieved more. They school themselves to gratitude and made their prayers a shield against future occurrence. The town continues to receive guests who come to share in the joy of the parents. Many turned at the palace of the district head. Many interfaced with the parents. Mr. Derry here is one of the parents of the abducted Dapchi girls. You can't imagine how happy he is now that his girl is back. I met him under a tree where people are coming to celebrate with him, to celebrate the return of his daughter and some 104 other daughters that have been abducted from Dapchi. Happy people they are.
I'm very happy, I'm very happy, I'm very happy.
Yeah, obviously. Many people may think that the whole Dapchi will be celebrating, maybe going on around dancing.
I didn't mean that you came yesterday. It's more than this. Because of the happiness and what you have seen yesterday.
So you have seen your daughter?
I have seen Ummi. She really with us for about 45 minutes at home before they'll carry her back to the hospital for medical checkup. From there, they ride down to Abuja. We wake her, we wake her, we wake her, we wake her.
Oh, okay. So did you see your girl yesterday?
Yes, I have seen my daughter.
You have seen her?
Yeah.
You talked?
Yes, I talked to her.
Oh, what did she tell you?
But the place that they're living is too far. Because of that, I can't say that he's not.
Okay, but did she tell you a story about suffering? Maybe the people coming to them or beating them or something like that?
No. No beating, no shouting, no any abuse or whatever it is. They said that they kept them at the side place that they kept them.
And they gave them food,
yes,
medical care and all this?
Well, they give them little foods and the medical care.
I also met with the mothers of some of the abducted girls.
I have seen my daughter. I am grateful to God and accept the condition I have seen her. What I have to say is that
live activities are going on in Dapchi peacefully. The people tell stories of how the girls are returned. When the Dapchi girls were brought back, This is where eyewitnesses said they were dropped in this place in the Motor Park, so-called because most of the vehicles, commercial vehicles especially, that are coming or leaving out of Dabchi, this is where they parked. I've
seen those who brought them back eye to eye. They saluted the people and people replied to their salute. Therefrom, they dropped the girls in this place. And
I just tell the each to come back to that school where those girls were abducted, their own school. The school is still empty. There seems to be no sign of life in it. But then, its abducted students are back. The question is, when will the school receive its students back? In Dabchi, Bursara local government area of Yobe State, Mohammed Hamis Sorogo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the release of the Dabchi school girls who were in the captivity of Boko Haram sect has been described as a plus for the federal government and security agencies in the country. A cross-section of residents of Lagos State expressed divergent views on their release.
The Dabchi school girls were abducted over a month ago. Their disappearance had attracted a lot of concern from Nigerians and the international community. However, the federal government, since the incident, had been working assiduously to ensure their safe return. It was therefore a welcome development when they were released from their abductors. This brought relief to their parents, families, and the whole nation. Lagos residents commended the federal government's effort in returning the girls to their families.
I'm happy that those girls have been recovered.
Very, very happy for them. And I think schools should create more tight security.
In Nigeria now, what we need is security.
It's a kind of a welcome development. Fine. The security men are working very, very well.
A security expert and a legal practitioner spoke on how to forestall future reoccurrence.
We have to go to an evidence level. So how are we going to evidence it? We must have call for service which is documented so that if there's a call for service, there's a tracking, there's a call data recording that ensures that we know when this call originated.
The state government, in conjunction with the federal government, can do more, especially in the area of prevention, which is very, very important because we ought to have learned from the Chibok girls' experience.
Some residents of Lagos, however, advise that everyone should be security conscious. In Lagos, Paul Omukagu, NTA News.
The member representing Dabchi at the House of Representatives, Goni Bukar Lawal, brought the message of his people to the floor of the House. The member, on behalf of the jubilating indigenes of Dabchi, commended President Muhammadu Buhari, describing his unbroken effort in rescuing the abducted girls as historic and a quality needed in a leader.
Use this opportunity to thank the President Muhammadu Buhari for setting off a special committee to go to Yobe and investigate the incidents. This is something that we must appreciate and also thank the governor of Yobe State, Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Gaidam, for his commitment. Since the incident happened, he did a lot in order to save those girls.
He also commended members of the House for their intervention. In the meantime, the Turkish Nile University of Nigeria has offered to give scholarship to the recently released Dabchi schoolgirls in any of its schools in Nigeria. The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Hussein Sir, stated this when he paid a courtesy visit to the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate, Ita Enang.
Nile University, we'd like to show our good weaves to the world. Nigerian good weaves.
I'm going to communicate this to His Excellency Mr. President and the Minister of Education and the authorities. And of course, I'm going to work with the Senate leader who is from Yobe State also.
And now to other matters. Discussants at the first quarter 2018 Interreligious Council meeting in Abuja are unanimous in their submissions that the forthcoming process of electing political office holders must be devoid of any act capable of disrupting the general well-being of the country. Mohammed Abubakar reports.
Nigeria has at various times and places been challenged by ethno-religious crises that have brought monumental losses to lives and property, and above all, hinder peaceful coexistence of the people. Addressing such challenges is principally the reason for the formation of the 19-year-old council. The meeting in Abuja, according to His Eminent Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, and the President Christian Association of Nigeria, Samson Ayokule, was to consolidate on the gains so far and strategize as 2019 general election approaches.
So let's keep on meeting, sacrifice for this country, no matter what difficulties we think we are going to face.
We have no choice now in Nigeria than for all of us to come together as we are doing now.
Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, lauds the formation of the council that he notes is very potent in stabilizing the country against shocks.
And they did remarkably well in dousing a lot of tension and creating a platform for understanding.
U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Stuart Symington, was quick to note that happenings in Nigeria reverberates across the globe, hence the concern by the global community.
We are not all Nigerians, but we, from all around the world, representing all of those nations who care for you.
Since its establishment in 1999, the Council has remained resolute in promoting fraternal relations among diverse people of Nigeria. In Abuja, Muhammad Abubakar, NTA News.
More reports on the network news after this time out.
Oh, Chief Mike, how are you? Fine. I'm going to Sun office for the certification of my wheat flour. Oh no, things have changed. Sun has simplified all its activities. You could have even stayed back in Kano and process all your papers online. Whoa.
With the efforts of Sun, the products of SMEs can now compete globally. Sun has put in place necessary machineries in support of the growth of SMEs. At highly subsidized charges, SMEs can now get their certification, laboratory testing of their products, as well as purchase of standards. Meanwhile, Sun is carrying out massive seizure of substandard goods in the market and have gotten legal backing to prosecute offenders, all to protect consumers and SMEs. Sun, improving life through standards.
The National Assembly Committees on Appropriations invites the general public to a two-day national budget hearing on the 2018 Appropriations Bill. The objective of the hearing is to, among others, make national budgeting process an all-inclusive activity for all Nigerians. The Joint Committee hereby invites all ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, professional bodies, civil society organizations, development partners, umbrella unions, associations, youth organizations, women groups, and the general public to submit memoranda and attend the hearing scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday 27th and Wednesday 28 March 2018. Venue, Conference Room 022, ground floor, Senate New Building, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. All memoranda should be submitted in 80 hard copies and soft copies to the Secretariat, Joint Committee on Appropriations, Committee Room 16, first floor, House of Representatives Wing, White House, National Assembly Complex, or the committee's email, hconappropriations@gmail.com. Signed, Senator Anjuma Goje, Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations, and Honorable Mustafa Baladawaki, Chairman, House Committee on Appropriations. Supported by Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC, and the British Department for International Development, DFID.
Sore throats, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in one lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
The Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council invites stakeholders and the general public to the launching and public presentation of the new history curriculum for primary and junior secondary schools. Date, Tuesday, 27th March 2018. Venue, Conference Hall, National Commission for Colleges of Education, Central Business District, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. Special guests of honor, Malam Adamu, Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Anthony Anwuka, Honorable Minister of State for Education. Distinguished guests of honor, Dr. Bukola Saraki, Senate President, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, Speaker, House of Representatives. The following are invited: Chairman, Senate and House of Representatives Committees on Basic Education and Services, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education, amongst others. Professor Ismail Jenaidu, Executive Secretary, NERDC, Announcer.
All right, people, all together now. Raise up and down, up and down, left, and right. Finally, we flex back and forth. Back and forth. Back, forth. Back and forth.
Sign up now for the 30 Days Fitness Challenge.
The Rector of Federal Polytechnic Bida, Dr. Abubakar Abdul-Zogogi, on behalf of the Governing Council Academic Board, invites the graduates and the general public to the 15th Combined Convocation Ceremony for 2016 and 2017 graduates, scheduled to hold as follows. Tuesday, 27 March, pre-convocation lecture by Professor Abdul Mumini Bala Ahmed of Bayero University, Kano, by 10 a.m. Wednesday, 28 March, conferment of National Diploma, High National Diploma, and Fellowship Awards to some distinguished Nigerians, including APC National Chairman, Chief John Oyegun, Niger State Governor Alhaji Abubakar Sani Bello, Kano State Governor Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje, Kogi State Governor Alhaji Yahaya Bello. Time 10 a.m. Venue Convocation Square. Announcer Alhaji Muhammad Ndana. Registrar Federal Polytechnic Bida.
Helen! Your kitchen gets 10 out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1.
It is clean.
But not perfect 10.
Better than my detergent and bleach? Impossible.
Challenge? Try the new Apic 10X.
Compared to bleach and detergent, Apic sticker formulation removes yellow stains times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow.
Now you also take that
Apic 10X challenge.
Also available in 200 ml pack.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Glad you're still watching NTA Network News. And now to some security matters. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has restated the commitment of the Nigeria Air Force to prioritize the welfare and motivation of its personnel. He disclosed this in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, while inaugurating a new Air Force base. Abdulwahid Bibiri has that report.
Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, who was represented by Chief of Administration, Air Vice Marshal Ibrahim Yahaya, said attainment of peace all over the country is key to national development. The Nigerian Air Force leadership is stressed, is mindful of the welfare and needs of the personnel, and the reason for ensuring better living conditions for all personnel. This development, he emphasized, will enhance operational efficiency and optimize service delivery, while also urging the beneficiaries to make optimal use of the structure.
While the service might not be able to adequately meet all those needs at once, owing to other competing needs and limited resources, the current leadership of the Air Force will not relent in its efforts towards ensuring better living conditions for all personnel.
Earlier, the Commander 303 Medium Airlift Group, Captain Patrick Ebiye, said the occasion is clearly a testimony that the Chief of Air Staff is committed to reposition the Nigerian Air Force. Also speaking, Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, represented by Permanent Secretary, Minister of Works, Yusuf Manjo, assures of government support to military and paramilitary agencies. Abdul Wahid Bibiri, NTA News.
We now join Suleiman in Kaduna for stories trending there. Over to you, Suleiman.
And a warm welcome. Military officers, security experts, and top-ranking officials from various ministries, departments, and agencies have made a reviewed plans for this year's Operation Husky View. an initiative of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji. Abdullah Muhammad has the details.
Operation Husky Biu has evolved to become a potent platform where experienced security officers, conflict and information managers, as well as top-ranking officers from various ministries, departments and agencies articulate ideas to tackle security threats. It utilizes the simulation of security threat scenarios and testing the intellectual capacity of participants towards neutralizing the threats.
In the course of the exercise, agencies are able to know the roles of the other agencies in internal security, what they can do, and how they can cooperate within the framework of a security environment.
An exercise like this, even though simulative, is going to provide for both the military, the civilians, and other agencies the opportunity to look at the situation that we are facing and be able to contribute, provide ideas, rub minds, and ensure that the security agencies approach these security issues the right way.
As the Armed Forces Command and Staff College Judge sets the 3rd of April as a commencement date for this year's Operation Husky Biu, final preparation for the event comes under screening.
The exercise setting is based on a fictitious scenario on the contemporary security challenges facing a fictitious People's Republic of Nigeria.
Program like this will make us to get to the end of all the security challenges we are having in all parts of the country.
It was awesome, I have to confess.
This year's edition of the Operation Husky Biu will focus on aggregating ideas to defeat insurgency. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
That is all we can take from Kaduna. Moving on now. Incidence of malnutrition on the African continent is said to be huge, with Nigeria accounting for more than 1/3 of the number. One way the Buhari administration is addressing this poor nutrition and health status and also improve the enrollment of children in public primary schools in Nigeria is its national homegrown school feeding program. As the nation joins other African countries in celebrating this concept, participants at a symposium focus on ways to sustain the program in Nigeria. State House correspondent Gideon Ifadi reports.
The Homegrown School Feeding Program is one of the 4 key programs of the National Social Investment Initiatives of the federal government. The mission is to provide 1 free meal a day to pupils in primary 1 to 3 in public primary schools in Nigeria by working with stakeholders to ensure a sustainable implementation of the program. There is no doubt that the program is meeting its set targets. This symposium is to find ways of sustaining the program and even achieve more.
When we invest in our children in this noble way, we are really investing in ourselves and in our future.
The symposium is in honor of the concept in Africa, a concept which needed to be celebrated with pomp and pageantry because of its benefits. But the low attendance here says value.
Make it a private sector driven, make it sustainable, make it profitable at the end of it.
It doesn't have to be a government-run program forever. Sustainability can then begin to mean that the communities are driving.
The social investment is a critical sector that we need to look at.
Now, encouraging these programs will solve many other problems.
We must all now begin to think of how we pay our taxes.
At the end of this event, we hope to have strengthened the commitment of the 3 arms of government to this program and to garner private sector support for the program towards the development of a policy strategy document.
Children, they say, love to eat, and when they eat, they're happy. And their real hero, therefore, are those that really provide the food. Hence, the need for all to come on board this program and make it truly a homegrown feeding program. From the banquet hall of the State House, it's Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And still related, wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, says tuberculosis remains a major global health challenge as women and children continue to die from preventable and curable diseases. In a statement to mark the World Tuberculosis Day, Mrs. Buhari called on stakeholders to double their efforts to end tuberculosis in Nigeria. She noted that tuberculosis is treatable, curable, asking anyone coughing persistently for more than 2 weeks to visit the nearest health center. Activities marking the World TB Day continue in Nigeria with the launch of a new drug for treating tuberculosis in children. Minister of Health Isaac Adewale is also proposing tuberculosis screening as one of the requirements for jobs and admissions into schools to address the more than 300,000 cases that go undetected yearly. Chimdima Hundubisi tells us more.
Statistics from the Ministry of Health shows that 47 Nigerians develop active tuberculosis, TB, every day, out of which 7 are children. This, experts believe, is a risk for a country that is already among the 14 high TB-burdened nations globally and second in Africa. The good news is that TB is treatable. 43-year-old Hassan Amadou attests to this.
They give me medicine. I get myself. I'm paying there. I didn't pay any other kobo there.
Except you have the drug-resistant tuberculosis, the treatment regimen now is about 6 months. So it is neater, it is shorter.
And myself will continue to work very closely with the TB community to make sure that we eradicate the biggest killer of people living with HIV in the country.
A major challenge for eradicating TB in children has always been that of availability of age-appropriate drugs. Answer now provided with the introduction of a new anti-TB formulation for children.
They made child-friendly because they are sweetened, they are flavored, and they disperse into a small amount of water.
The overall goal is to end TB in Nigeria by 2020, already put into vote by relevant bodies. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
And away from health, the Federal Character Commission says it will continue to monitor and employ strategic processes in the recruitment and infrastructure distribution in the country. This was reiterated at the National Stakeholders Seminar in Abuja, as reported by Adebola Brooklyn Sunday.
The seminar brought together all commissioners and representatives of all ministries, departments and agencies.
Federal Character Commission.
Their line of thought was to bring to the front banner the efforts of government through the commission to promote national unity, equity and secure sense of belonging by all sections of the country.
It was a deliberate provision that every state of the Federation, Mr. Chairman, must be represented in such a very key, important commission like the Federal Character Commission.
The National Assembly too will be acting and working on the report that will be turned in from time to time.
I expect you to take the message back home by adequately informing their excellencies, the executive governors of your respective states, to imbibe the spirit of federal character, or rather states or local government character, in all aspects of appointments, recruitments, and the spread of socio-economic amenities and infrastructural facilities in order to maintain the balance.
We shall continue to support the government in realizing its full mandate.
The commission was established by Act No. 34 of 1996 to channel public investment towards sustainable development. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Capacity building for staff and development of curricula of the NTA Television College JAWS dominated discussion at the meeting between NTA Director General Yakubu Ibn Mohammed and the BBC World Service Group Director Jami Angus. Here again is Adebola Brooklyn Sunday with details.
Conception of the current management of the NTA, workshops, training and retraining of staff has remained a priority. This meeting between the two giant broadcasters who share many similarities is no doubt a booster.
Period for the BBC World Service.
Sami Angos, who is visiting Nigeria for the first time, said the unique platform of NTA will be a veritable tool to showcase some of their programs.
The new programming will help to widen and diversify the kind of editorial coverage that the BBC makes. but it will also provide appealing, high-quality and in-depth international coverage of sport, business, children's news, entrepreneurship, and investigations for your audiences.
Content will be the difference.
Emphasizing the place of content in the face of digital switchover, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad stressed on the qualities any content must possess for it to be transmitted on the platform.
The interest of Nigeria comes first in whatever we do. So any program that is going to be on the NTA has to take into account the national interest.
The DG used the occasion to announce some of the new channels of the NTA.
2 more language channels. One Kanuri channel to be based in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, and the second, a full day channel to be based in Yola, the Adamawa state capital.
The wide reach of the NTA was pointed out as a comparative advantage for the partnership. Adebola, Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Happenings in around Lagos with Hingino as our guide.
Thank you, Ronke, and a warm welcome to Lagos. The British Broadcasting Corporation BBC has launched its bureau in Lagos. The bureau will provide media content in 4 different Nigerian languages to inform, educate and entertain Nigerians at home and abroad in local languages. Amaka was at the launch.
Indicate that since the inception of the British Broadcasting Corporation in the 1940s, its audience across the world has continued to increase with 36 million in Nigeria. In line with the corporation's contributions towards professionalism and desire to ensure best media practices, the Bureau will provide services in Igbo, Yoruba and Pidgin English.
It's really, really important that people going to the BBC Yoruba website or going to the BBC Pidgin website or listening to our 1-minute audio summaries on partner stations are able to get the news from their region.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, expressed optimism that activities of the BBC will foster national integration.
My wish is that BBC will strengthen our unity rather than amplify our diversity in a negative sense.
Chidi Uluka, Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, who represented the Director General of the NTA and other major key players in the media industry, described the creation of the language channels by the BBC as a giant stride.
It's going to help people to begin to bring out the best of their culture.
It's very good for the industry because I think it has to make us to work hard.
BBC is taking advantage of digital disruption to come into the country and see how they can get some viewers who don't speak English.
The British Broadcasting Corporation promises to provide media content that will tell remarkable stories affecting the lives of Nigerians. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
35 states in the country generated 931.23 billion naira as internally generated revenue for the year 2017 as the Nigeria capital market closed all-share index on a decline. Let's join Abolade Salami for details on our business news segment.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the Business News segment. The National Bureau of Statistics, in its recent publication on the internally generated revenue at state level for 2017 fiscal year, says states IGR figures hit 931.23 billion naira as against the 831.19 billion naira recorded in the year 2016, thereby recording a growth of 12.03% year-on-year. The Bureau says 31 states recorded growth in its IGR, while 5 states, including Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Osun, and Taraba states, recorded a decline at the end of the 2017 fiscal year. However, the value of foreign debts stands at $18.9 billion, while domestic debts hit 3.35 trillion naira at the end of 2017, respectively. The Nigerian capital market has in recent time retained a downward trend in the all-share index. The bearish outlook, experts say, is caused by profit-taking by investors.
What we experienced recently in the Nigerian Stock Exchange is not uncommon. What we saw was
some of the earnings report that came to the market were not too pleasing to investors, and of course they reacted by selling off, and we saw the prices coming, and that continued for some period of time, which goes to tell you that for any stock market there is up and down, and of course the frequent buying and selling of securities will make prices to go up and then down. It's a normal market dynamics.
And now let's see how stocks were traded on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange today.
Friday's trading closed on a negative with 0.39% depreciation, with an all-share index which stood at 41,472.10 basis points, valued at 6.7 billion naira, with a volume of shares worth 560 million, which exchanged hands in 4,605 deals, in a market capitalization of 14.9 trillion naira. WAPCO with 2 naira 5 kobo gain led the table, followed by Guaranteed, which appreciated by 1 naira 95 kobo, while Nestle with 3 naira 3 kobo loss led the table, followed by Dangote Cement, which depreciated by 9 naira 9 kobo per share.
Stock Market Reports concludes business news segment. The news continues shortly. Please stay with us.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Get an unfair advantage that puts you in front of everyone else. Be the first to have an immersive movie experience. 1,000 naira equals 2 gigabytes. That's 30 hours of video content. With the power to broadcast yourself, the world is your stage. 2,500 naira equals 7.2 gigabytes that lets you upload 120 hours of dance video. Get the unfair advantage, powered by Globe Data Unmatched. Also enjoy free YouTube and iFlix. Dial *777#.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
All TVs say picture quality, but never mention the most important color. Black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because her tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate.
Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities for maximum cavity protection. And now available in a fresh new Icy Mint gel.
Wow.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I knew what Grandma's secret was. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me.
It's Jik, of course, the trusted bleach which can be used all around your house for amazing results.
Shh, it's our little secret.
It's no secret. Jik removes 101 stains. Just Jik it.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold?
No!
They are spread through germs which are everywhere. You collect germs that cause diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands and taking your bath with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is bath, bath, bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash, wash, wash your hands.
Thanks for being there. Stakeholders of the Nigerian Port Authority, NPA, on Rivers State have been assured of the provision of more pilot cultures, tugboats and other facilities to boost service delivery at the port. Managing Director, NPA, Hadiza Usman, gave the assurance at the Stakeholders and Management quarterly meeting. The report.
The quarterly stakeholders meeting was to interact with business owners operating at the port and provide solutions to the many challenges hampering smooth operations and management of the port. Managing Director, who was represented by the Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Alhaji Mohammed Bello Koko, described the authority as one of the prime drivers of the economy and called for collaborative contributions for the advancement of the nation.
We came to also inform them that we've been able to deliver on some of those promises. We've been able to secure approval for procurement of 17-meter service boats. We are working on repeat procurement of purchase of new tugboats. We are also working towards procurement of security patrol boats, mooring boats, and pilot cutters. These are some of the issues that stakeholders have raised.
Stakeholders used the opportunity to give their impression on the state of insecurity and other issues militating against smooth operations at Onne Port, and called on the authorities to carry out dredging of the seashores to enable heavy vessels to access the port.
Calling on all of you to always invite the Nigerian Customs Service or communicate with the service.
From the Nigerian Port Authority, Onne, Osinachi Silvanus Abraham, NTA News.
50 operational vehicles have been donated to the Special Joint Task Force on Anti-Illegal Mining by the Federal Minister of Mines and Steel Development. The Joint Task Force, comprising the police and the civil defense, is to arrest and prosecute illegal miners in some identified flashpoints. Mie Ogidi reports.
Illegal miners constitute about 65% of the mining population in Nigeria, with attendant effects of lead poisoning, unfriendly environmental practices, and revenue losses to the federal government. And to address this, the Ministry of Mines and some security agencies entered into an agreement to set up a special anti-illegal mining task force.
Command and control. The Police Mine Surveillance Department is headed by Deputy Commissioner of Police. At the state level, counter-terrorism units, otherwise known as CTU, personnel are to be used when the ministry is conducting operations against illegal miners.
These 40 vehicles, therefore, is to improve the operational capabilities of the task force, while 10 of the vehicles were donated to state mineral resources and environmental management councils.
The third is to undertake regular scheduled and unscheduled visits to all flashpoints with a view to combating illegal mining activities. And the fourth is to make arrests and prosecute accused persons.
The Special Joint Task Force is to be set up in all state commands of the police and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Ogechi has more stories from our Port Harcourt studio. Hello, Ogechi. It's over to you.
Ronke, and thanks for joining us in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, from where the Nigerian Navy has flagged off exercise of Bangam Express 2018 with an assurance of global collaboration with other international naval forces towards the security of the Gulf of Guinea and in return boost economic activities in the sub-region. Chief of Naval Staff, represented by Rear Admiral B. Ibe Enwo, confirmed the flag of exercise at the Nigerian Navy shipyard at the Federal Ocean Terminal on River State. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Exercise of Bangame Express is an international maritime program intended to bring together countries in the Gulf of Guinea alongside the US, UK, France, Germany, Belgium, and Portugal in a naval cooperation towards the security of the international maritime. France and Portugal are participating in the Nigerian exercise aimed at checkmating piracy, crude oil theft, unregulated fishing, bunkering, and other criminalities in the Gulf of Guinea. Chief of Naval Staff disclosed that out of the 26 participating nations across the countries, 12 are from the Gulf of Guinea nations, saying that it will translate to improved economic fortunes for the nations.
We'll be participating, of course, with some other international forces, as I've mentioned earlier, Portugal and France specifically. And in the course of the exercise, we'll be looking at anti-piracy situation, talking about man-overboard situation and various emergencies that may occur while a ship is engaged in an operation. 2
helicopters and 4 warships will be participating in the international maritime exercise. From One, River State, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Youth are the leaders of today, and similar phrases have in recent times become the mantra, advocating the involvement of young Nigerians in electioneering processes. The upcoming local government elections in River State is an avenue for young people to showcase their leadership capabilities. But how prepared are they to participate actively in these processes by contesting for elective positions? Onege Fanfes tells us more.
As the third tier of government, local government councils are the closest to members of society. Leadership at this level no doubt presents opportunity for budding young men and women to demonstrate their capacity for leadership and management of the many intricacies of political affairs in the country.
Youths should take this opportunity to ensure that they are on grant in the various local government, because this is government at the grassroots, so that they should come out and make sure that they are registered with INEC to ensure that they come out and vote, because this is the best time for them to participate in politics.
If we stand firm, knowing that we can change the narrative from being just followers and being the leaders that will propel Nigeria to the better place we desire to be, then we have to participate in it.
Respondents agree that beyond political thuggery and godfatherism syndrome that usually characterize Nigeria politics, if young people can dare the political terrain, meaningful degrees of dynamism will be injected into Nigeria's political sphere. In Port Harcourt, Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Is back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Ogechi. Another break beckons. Stay with us.
All right, people, all together now. Raise up and down, up and down, left, right, and right. Finally, we flex back and forth, back and forth, back, forth, back and forth.
Sign up now for the 30 Days Fitness Challenge.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
3
1,346 medals are up for grabs at the first National Grassroots Sports Festival, Sports for All, to discover sports talent, develop future world champions, and rejuvenate sports in Nigeria. Date 19th to 29th of April 2018. Venue, National Stadium Abuja, packages A and B. This is an opportunity for state governors to promote their achievements and for companies to promote their brand with 24 individual and team sports. For broadcast sponsorship, contact Angelo Peter I. Elosia, Chairman and Chief Coordinator, or Nick Onyisi. Organizers, Grassroots International Sports Academy and LOP Worldwide Television. Endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development. Broadcast partner, NTA, the largest television network in Africa.
Now time for sports. Nigeria Professional Football League Week 14 fixtures set for Sunday as Federal Capital Territory rewards outstanding athletes and officials